County Public Library podcast. And today I've got Zoe and Mr. Keith with me, and we are running really late because the computer kept crashing.
We have been put through some trials and tribulations.
Yes, technical trials.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yes, lots and lots of trials. But anyway, we are here and we're ready to record, but we're going to be recording fast. So forget about that southern drawl. We're just going to speed on through.
We're going for the speed run for this episode. Any percent.
We're going back to the Chicago roots and talk fast. All right. So guys, we don't really have a whole ton of time for nerdy things, but has anything exciting happened in the last month you want to share that was nerdy to you guys? New video games, movies, etc.
I know a lot of people have been watching Ahsoka on Disney Plus. It's been huge. I haven't been watching it though because I think watching Star Wars Rebels, the show, is kind of like a prerequisite. So I've been a little afraid to jump in, but it's been very popular. A lot of people are talking about it.
I haven't made many deviations from my usual schedule, but I am on my, I think now seventh playthrough of Fire Emblem Three Houses. With very little deviations in how I'm playing the story, I just want to see my favorite characters again.
I've inadvertently been switch stalking you on that. Every time I go on, you're playing that game.
Listen, okay?
Which house did you pick the first time?
Black Eagles. Black
What?
Eagles. I picked them.
No.
Listen, Edelgard looks so cool, and
No,
I was correct.
no.
Edelgard is my favorite character.
Golden
I will
Deer all the
defend
way.
her. Listen, I like Claude, but objectively, he's the least interesting of the main three. Okay? I like the petty drama between the two houses.
I love
Alright?
that game.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, my
Have you played Crimson Flower?
No.
You
I
need
avoided
to.
that.
You need. I love Edelgard von Harsfeld so much. Okay.
okay, I'm glad you're excited about that. You want to hear my news?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Let's go.
Guess who has tickets to see Hatsune Miku in
That's
Orlando?
right. Yes.
I
And
forgot about that.
and I texted my sister. I was like, "Do you want to go to a concert with me?" And she was like, "Sure." I said, "It's Hatsune Miku." She's like, "I have no idea what that is,
Oh.
but sure."
Come on.
Oh,
Who doesn't
no.
know Hatsune? Come on.
She's gonna
Anyway,
get a very surprised.
well, and then
oh, gosh.
and then a few days later when I saw her, she says, "I looked up what that is. What are you taking me to?" My sister is wonderful though because she said she'll still go with me.
She'll
Yay.
humor you.
Yes.
She'll tag along.
She's like, "This will be fun," and I was like,
Yay.
"Yes, it will." And if I can, I am fully planning on getting the glow sticks and going the whole route.
Yay!
So we have now had our 3-minute what's nerdy, because now we have to dive into our actual talk.
One Piece.
We are tackling the One Piece today. Well, not
Both of
really.
them.
The One Piece is
The one
real.
pieces, the two pieces.
Yeah. Not really. Okay, the One Piece is now up to I've lost track. 1,000 or
1,040-ish.
something.
It's
yeah.
over 900.
Over
Well
1,000.
over, yeah.
They have hit 1,000 and kept going on the episodes of the anime. I personally have only watched up to around the 440s mark.
Which is definitely
That's
something.
still a commitment.
Still,
I watched
yeah.
200
16
hours.
episodes.
You watched 16 episodes and
I
you
watched
watched
12.
If I did do like a quick rewatch of the first 12 episodes, but if I say something and you guys look at me blankly, you'll know why, because I'm 400 and some
alert,
episodes
yeah.
ahead of you.
Yes.
But we also watched 3 episodes of the Netflix series that came out, the live action, which was the incentive for doing this episode because I was very trepidatious when I first heard that Netflix was doing a live
Because
action
the last
series.
time they did a live action, it wasn't really
It
received
was
well.
not that great.
No,
It wasn't
well,
Cowboy
and
Bebop.
Most anime live action adaptations, I'm going to say, even some of the Japanese ones I have watched, I have not greatly enjoyed.
Like Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
That one time they tried to do Diamond is Unbreakable from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and they and they tried to condense the entire part into 2 films, but the second film was never released.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
the first
and
one
then
was
I
It
have
has a rocky
seen.
history.
I saw
Yeah.
the live action Japanese Death Note, which was okay, not great. I saw the Attack on Titan ones in a movie theater, my own punishment.
They made an American Death Note,
Which I
was
didn't watch, which
not
actually
awful, but it wasn't great.
I would
the
be
best thing
curious
about
to
it
see
was
that.
the best thing about it was the CGI for Ryuk, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
Willem
And
Dafoe
then
is Ryu.
I forgot it was William
Yes.
Dafoe.
the other
Yes.
2 anime live actions I have watched, which I actually would categorize as good, is I watched one of the Rurouni Kenshin movies.
Don't know
Was
what
it
that
good?
is.
I actually enjoyed it. It was not one of the newer ones. It came out a while ago, and I watched Initial D, which is a car racing movie. I watched the live action of that came out. And I will say that the reason why probably Rurouni Kenshin and Initial D were okay was because one was about car racing. It doesn't get that crazy. And one was a samurai historical movie. And if one thing Japan can do, it's a samurai historical movie.
The only other live action that I haven't seen, but I actually heard good things about, is the live action Speed Racer movie.
Oh, the Wachowski one?
Yeah.
It's fun. It's
My
super
brother
anime
has told me
influenced,
he loves that movie,
Yes.
and it's been on my to-watch list for quite
It's
some
been
time.
on mine too.
It's fun.
Yeah.
But
Um,
everyone, verdict on the One Piece live action. Without going into details about the plot, but like verdict.
Yes, let's go ahead. Well, you guys, you've seen a little bit of the anime. So it's very hard to give a star rating to something that's 1,000 episodes long based on like 12, 16 episodes. But was the intro to the anime something you could see why people enjoy this show?
It was alright.
I liked it.
I mean, if
yeah,
it was
so-
airing like weekly, I'd tune in.
Okay.
But like, I wouldn't binge it.
All
I
right.
can't
Yeah.
binge it. It's physically impossible.
Now, I think we're going to be probably doing more of a review of the live action because it is very hard to review something that's animated that is 1,000 and some episodes.
Yeah.
There are entire podcasts where they do nothing but review One Piece.
And they've probably been going for years and
Yes.
still have not
Yes.
covered all
Yes,
of it.
probably.
Yeah.
So, live action wise, let's give that your official star rating.
Honestly, I mean, based on the little I've seen, the little they have adapted to it, I would give it 4.6.
Wow, out of 5?
Yeah.
I
What
would
about
give it
you?
a solid 4. I think it's
Solid
really
4?
a really good adaptation.
It is
from what I've
definitely
seen.
high quality. They definitely got the
Yeah.
budget for this one.
Yeah.
I would give it a 4.5,
Really.
edging into a 5. And you want to
Wow.
know why?
Uh-huh.
Because they actually had the manga creator heavily involved in
And
this
it shows
adaptation.
with the
Oh,
Very
yeah.
heavily
Oh,
involved.
yeah.
It very
They
much
literally
shows.
sent him clips of it as they were making it for his approval. He actually had a say in some of the plot lines. He actually changed some of the plot lines. They went and refilmed things because he was like, that's
Because he
not
said
right.
It's not working.
It's not
Yeah.
right. And I think that is, and I also think in some ways, everybody involved in this project, from the actors to the manga creator, were aware that we cannot do a direct adaptation. We cannot even try to do a direct
'Cause if
adaptation.
You really
Because if we
can't.
do that, it
Mhm.
will be terrible. And I
Yeah.
think that's why so many anime live action remakes fail so badly, is they try to do too much of a direct adaptation, or they spin too far off of the story that we liked.
Because,
Yeah.
like, I know if there's anything I think is a recurring theme in live-action anime adaptation, it's them trying to copy the looks of the characters exactly, and it
Mhm.
ends up looking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can copy
Yes.
only so
And
much.
One
you know,
Piece is just
and-
full of the ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
The outfits, the
Oh, yeah.
hairstyles.
The outfits, the
Like,
hair-
I think
hairstyles,
all the
everything.
all the character design changes are definitely improvements, in my opinion.
Zoro's outfit's probably the one they changed the least because he's the least ridiculous
Yeah,
looking
he
of all of
actually
those.
looks like
the-
he
a
actually
the
looks
pirate samurai.
The
yeah.
craziest thing about him is his blue hair.
green.
Green?
It's green.
It's green.
Are you colorblind? Anyway, he has. We've decided that they did a very good job of translating how they look in the anime to how they look in the live action.
Okay, yes. they
Nami has the bright red hair. Zoro's hair is green.
did. Shut.
Greenish blue.
Greenish
Shut
blue.
Let's compromise. Greenish
Luffy looks
blue.
really good. Luffy looks great.
Luffy looks
Luffy
exactly
looks
like he does,
amazing. I
yeah.
love the actor they got for Luffy.
Yeah.
Luffy,
He is,
I think they translated his character and his mannerisms and his outfit design amazingly.
and they made the rubber stuff look amazing.
Yes,
It does,
does look
because
really
I
good.
have to admit
Actually looks good.
the first thing I thought of when they said they're making a One Piece live action, I was like, that CGI is going to look terrible
Yeah.
because
it actually looks pretty good.
and it actually looks really
Netflix-
good.
the only issue where it looked kind of funky was with the Buggy the Clown fight. I feel like the scene with his head when he was
Oh,
like
when
on
he
the
gets
lady
chopped up.
when he was on the
Oh.
lady's lap, his head looked a little funky.
Yeah, because he
Yeah.
has to chop fruit, so his
Yeah.
body can like
Split
divide
up.
up.
and stuff.
Parts are all
Yeah,
over the place.
yeah. But in general, One Piece live action, great character.
Kobe looks really dumb, but he looked dumb in the original.
Kobe is
that's a
supposed to look
hard one
dumb.
He's
translate
supposed
into
to
live
look
action.
dumb, but honestly, his actor did the greatest job.
Yes,
with it.
yes.
His
He
actor's a-
sells the timidity, you know.
He
like,
Yes.
does
yeah.
amazingly.
So, how many spoilers are you two willing to have about One Piece?
I
during
mean,
this
I'm
discussion?
only in the original show. I'm only gonna watch far enough until they meet a character named what's his name,
Sanji.
until I meet Sanji, and then I'm gonna assume I'm caught up on where the live action is. I'm gonna watch the rest of the live action and then just continue where
The
the
live
action
action, from what I understand, goes pretty much all the way through the Arlong the Pirates,
So how
where
many
you go to
episodes?
where you go to Nami's island.
Is that like 4? Because they're doing almost like a 4-episode anime to 1-episode live action.
And each episode's like an
ratio.
hour and a half long.
Yeah,
so.
they're like a full hour. Yeah.
So the Arlong Pirates.
They're just shark people, right?
Well, they're the fish people. There's one that's an octopus person. I really like him.
Oh, okay. He's really creepy in the live action.
This is going to be great audio because I have to look up the One Piece episodes because I don't know off the top of my head all of the arcs and so on. I know personally, I like the Alabasta arc. That's one of my favorites. That comes after he gets his core crew. This is my quick review of the arcs I have seen so far. The Skypiea arc, I really hated that arc. I really did. I don't know why. There were moments of it I really liked that did some great character development. I felt like it was a huge disservice to Nami and that they went ahead and sidelined her for the entire arc, and I really did not appreciate that. I forget what order they go in, but they wind up on the Grand Line and they have a whole bunch of adventures. The Thriller Bark arc where they picked up Brooke, enjoyed that one pretty much. There were a few characters I was like I could have lived without that. The one where they meet Frankie, really like that arc too. So there's a whole ton of.
How long are like the usual arcs in the anime? Like
how many episodes? Because
yeah,
I know
20,
there was.
100,
I know the Black Cat Pirates fight lasted like 5 episodes. Plus, like, the 2 where they introduced Usopp.
So the East Blue, which is where we are now,
Yes.
that arc, is 61 episodes.
Oh my god.
So that
So
is
we're,
probably all the way through the Arlong Pirates.
Okay.
Entering into the Grand Line is only 16. You meet Chopper, that's 14. The Alabasta arc is 39. The Skypiea arc is 52. They have the Water 7 arc is 35, Enos Lobby is 73, Thriller Bark is 45, the Saboti Archipelago is 26.
So like 30 to like
Yeah.
40-ish
Yeah.
average.
It's like a whole season pretty much.
So
goes to each arc.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Wanoke and apparently they just go on and on and on forever
More
and
and more
ever.
arcs.
Amen.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm gonna stop when they introduce Sanji in the original anime. I'm just gonna keep going in the live action from there.
Okay, the live action is probably covers, if they do cover all the way through the Arlong Pirates, probably like the first 30 to 40 episodes.
They covered, from what I understand, they covered 16 episodes plus a few more in 4 episodes in the live action.
Okay, I'm going to drop a huge spoiler on you. They do tell you this a lot earlier in the live action than they do in the animated one.
Ah. All right.
Wow.
So, I have been watching...
Angry Scottish guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
somehow
yeah.
it is.
So, I have been watching this entire series going, there's a lot more Garp than I remember. There's a lot more Garp. Garp is a lot angrier than I remember. What is going on? Because they do actually meet up. At the end of the 3rd episode, they imply that they're going to meet up with Kobe a lot sooner than expected. That did not happen for way longer in the anime.
Yeah, he's in the live action.
Like,
a lot
he
more
literally
than he is
shows
the-
up during the arc where they introduce Usopp for the first time.
Yeah,
He's
and
just
that
hanging
does
out.
Yeah.
does not happen in the anime.
kinda
That happens way down the line.
I know. I kind of like it.
So the
I
live
like that we check in and at least
Yeah,
see that he's
the live action is condensing
alive.
everything a lot more, but I feel like they're doing it in a way that the storytelling is still going to be good. Which
yeah,
I think, and I
yeah.
think that's where Oda, the writer of the manga, came in probably the heaviest. So it was probably helping them keep the storyline while condensing it.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
cut out a lot of the unnecessary filler. Like, I feel like the fight with the Black Cat Pirates in the original show took way too long.
That's the one thing about One Piece, the anime. The fight scenes do go on forever.
Even the fight with Buggy lasted like 2 full episodes.
And even
in
then,
the
they,
anime,
half the time they
it's-
were just talking in flashbacks.
Yeah. I like that they're trimming some of the fat.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
What in the One Piece live action so far? We've watched 3 episodes, so we're up to
I
Black.
think I've watched 4.
Oh, you watched 4. Okay, well, Keith and I
I've
have only
watched
watched
3.
3.
We'll only
Yeah.
talk about the 3 ones.
Yeah.
So we are at the point where they realize that Kuro is a pirate.
He's a pirate. That's
Yeah.
where it's like
So-
a
Or
cliffhanger ending.
Clawhador, as they
Yeah,
call
it's
him.
Clawhador.
The
Kuro.
butler Clawhador is actually a
actually
pirate named
Kuro,
Captain
yeah.
Kuro of the
Yeah.
Black Cat
Pirates.
Yes.
So far, what was your favorite moment in the live action series?
Oh, there's a lot of them, actually. Hang on, I gotta remember.
Yeah.
I think the whole, like, stealing the map scene between Luffy, Nami, and Zoro.
Yeah, I think
love
that
it.
the finale
I love
of the first
I
episode.
love
yeah.
Nami and Luffy's dynamic already.
Yes.
It's so funny.
Yes.
And I like that the live action brings the three of them together way quicker than the anime.
Mhm.
The
And
anime, it's kind of
I
Zoro,
really
Luffy,
like how they
you know,
make
and-
Nami a lot more stand out in the live action.
What I like about that final scene is in the anime, pretty much Zoro looks at Luffy and says, "Go get my swords and I'll be part of your crew." This one, they're still telling him, "No, we're not your crew."
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they're acting like his crew, which
Yes.
is what I really like.
Zoro's way more eager to join in the
Like,
anime.
one-
This
Yeah.
one, he's
like,
like,
one
no,
of-
dude, I'm not on your
One
crew.
of my favorite lines is Luffy's like, "I'm sensing there's tension among the crew," and they're like, "Not a crew."
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Both
that's
are-
one of the best moments.
Okay, but I think my singular favorite moment. It's very tiny, but it's when Zoro when they're on the ocean and on Nami's ship, and Zoro comes out of the back. He's like, "I think your toilet's flooding."
Oh, the toilet.
And Nami's like, "We don't have a toilet." He's like, "Oh, well, something's flooding back there."
And Nami freaks out.
And Nami
she knows
freaks
all
out
her stuff.
because
is-
all her
yeah.
stuff is back there, and she's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, my snail phone almost
Yep,
drowned."
Yep. Her little hidden
By
cubby.
the way, snail phones.
They're a thing.
so
Do
they
they
crawl-
ever get explained or
No, they just are.
They
They have
crawl in
snail
your
they have,
ear?
they
Like
have
they-
well that I don't
Yeah.
remember because
Okay.
you usually what
I
it
mean,
is
there's
they
a
have
scene-
like a handset that you hold.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
this
Um,
one she puts it right in there.
And there are snails that are also security cameras.
So snails are basically
Yeah,
technology.
yeah.
modern
Snails are
technology.
technology.
and they're clearly alive because like there's a scene where Gorp is feeding them lettuce.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you gotta feed these things. And
Well, and the one dies when it floods. Her phone.
Yeah.
he's like wheezing
He's
and
like,
coughing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Nami's
Nope.
like, "Oh shoot, does he still work?"
Yep. No.
Snail phones are a thing. I believe they actually made a Model 1 that you could buy
Oh, I'm sure
when
they
the
did.
One Piece
Oh,
live action
gosh.
came out.
Oh god.
I do not need a snail phone. Thank you very much.
I bet someone out there does.
Yes, somebody does, not me. So let's see here. My favorite moment so far. That is a toss up.
There's a lot of really great
There's
moments.
and most of them involve Zoro, which is kind of funny.
Oh, yeah,
'Cause-
Zoro and or Luffy.
Zoro, yeah.
He's somehow even more stoic in the live action than he is
he
in
is.
the anime.
He is a lot
Yeah.
more
He's
stoic
a lot
in the
more
live
stoic,
action.
and honestly, I think it makes him a lot more fun.
Yeah.
It does. It
Yeah.
does.
Because
Um,
he's stoic, but he has the same moments of idiocy, but like he doesn't acknowledge it.
And he does have a sense of humor too.
He-
Yeah,
he
he
does.
can be clever. Yeah.
Like,
One of the things that I have always liked about Zoro is the fact that he has absolutely no sense of direction. And apparently he firmly believes that he can heal from any wound by sleeping.
That's
yeah,
all it
like in
takes.
the anime, there's a
In-
scene where
yeah.
he like sleeps off a massive stab wound, and he just kind of, and then the building he's sleeping in gets destroyed, and he just walks out of it like, nah, it's
Like,
fine.
"Oh, yeah, wait,
Yeah,
I'm good.
yeah, everything's fine.
He's like, "Boy, you are not fine."
Yeah. So one of the scenes I really liked in this one, again, was the heist with stealing the map. I liked Nami stealing the guy's uniform and pretending to be a Marine.
Yes, yeah.
Because I was like, because you see her do that a little bit in the anime, but not to that extent.
It
I like
sells
the
her
fact
skills,
it sells
It's
her-
usually in
yeah.
the background, like she
Yeah.
dresses up as a pirate or something like that.
Yeah.
just
I
kinda
thought it
show.
sold the whole fact that she was a thief
Yeah,
and
it's
doing
believable.
thiefy things.
That and the whole thing where she's trying to crack the safe.
well, and the fact
Yeah,
that she also pickpocketed the guy to get the key at one
Yes,
point.
yeah,
So,
so
you
she-
see a
And
lot.
she has like 4 lockpicks on her at all times
Mhm.
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
they-
they take 3, and she's like, nope, I got one more.
I got one more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the fact they portray her more as an actual thief character, as in she's got the lockpicks and everything. Not thief as in I walk by and I pick up all your gold.
Mhm.
Which
That's kind of
um,
how. That's kind of
skills.
what she was doing in the anime, to be honest. She
Yeah,
was
she
just
Yeah.
like,
she was
well,
just,
everyone was distracted. She just kind of took the
She just
stuff.
kind of starts grabbing
yeah, she
stuff,
just steals
yeah.
all the gold. What was probably your least favorite thing about the live action? What were you watching that you went, that doesn't really feel good?
Well, I didn't have a lot of the context. I bet there were a lot of tiny things that people who actually watched most of the show were able to point out. So I guess.
Well, that's
I
why
don't
I
know.
tried having you watch the anime that closely correlated with the episodes that we watched, so you'd have an idea.
I
The-
think some of the child actors were a little stiff in terms of their performances. I mean, Child Usopp specifically sounded like he was reading his lines off of a piece of paper in front of him.
Because I thought Child Luffy did
No,
pretty
Child
good.
Luffy
Child
was great.
Luffy's really
Child
good,
Luffy
yeah.
was
was
great.
great.
But Child Usopp kind of made me like, and then his mom character was like, the line could have been done a bit better.
There are also a few
And-
times where I thought it was a little obvious it was a green screen. I mean, Netflix is known for having kind of like, pretty minimal budgets, and I think they did the best with what they had.
Oh yeah, the
But there were
sets
some
are
times
the
where
sets
it
are
was, like, a
amazing.
little
I will say I
obvious,
heard
yeah.
the budget on this was pretty high.
Really?
I mean, you could
they're-
tell
Pretty
with
high
the
for a
ships and the
Netflix
set
show.
Yeah,
design,
the, ship,
and
Yeah.
the
set,
CG,
the set
Yeah.
and the
design is amazing.
costumes.
Yeah, the set design is amazing.
But like, I think the biggest thing I have an issue with. It's really stupid. It might just be me, but I don't like Clawhador live
Oh.
action. He doesn't look as scary. His face looks too angular. He's got his base chin.
He's a little more sinister in the anime.
He looks obviously
Yeah.
sinister in the anime, but at least
Yeah.
you could understand he was like what he was pretending to be. But in this one, it's like, oh yeah, he's evil, 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
No questions.
No questions.
Well, I did think though they tried to make the scene with Clawhador a lot more scary because the fight with Clawhador originally happens in the middle of the day on the beach.
Oh yeah, they made
This
it happen.
one
in,
they
like,
made it happen in the cellars in the dark.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
it,
So
does,
they-
it is a
they're-
bit more intimidating.
Yeah.
They're
And-
setting this up to be a little bit more scary and tense.
And
I
he's
think.
got the Freddy Krueger claws and everything.
I can't
Yeah.
remember. Did they replace his shoes?
I
Did they
don't
show
know.
that?
Since I don't actually remember his footwear, I'm gonna guess that they did not have him wearing the weird shoes.
Okay, good, because that,
I don't
and that
remember
was my
either,
biggest problem
yeah.
in the original, because he's wearing these dumb striped sock slipper thingies.
A weird question. When you guys watched the animated one, you watched it on Netflix.
I watched it
yes.
on Crunchyroll.
I watched my DVD copy.
Okay.
So
Maybe the color grading is different
It
on
could be.
Crunchyroll.
it
Yeah.
could be. The
Because
transfer might not have been done
I
right.
remember his shoes were like a muddy orange color,
Huh.
like almost, and they looked very clownish, to be honest.
They are. They're like clown
And
stuff.
Yeah.
Zora's hair was a bright sky blue. From what I remember very
Huh.
clearly, and Nami's hair wasn't as brightly orange as it was in the live action. It was actually very toned down.
Well,
it might be the
I
color
just-
grading.
It might be
Yeah.
the color grading or
Yeah.
something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I will have to watch it on Crunchyroll out of curiosity because Netflix. So aspect ratios of TVs have changed since this came out,
Mhm.
and Netflix actually stretched out the anime
Yeah,
so it would fill your
yeah.
whole TV screen. My DVD, they didn't do that, so I still have the black bars on the side, so it's more square shaped because our TVs are a different shape now than they were when this came out originally. So I'm curious now. I need to pull it up on Crunchyroll and see what they did with it.
Okay, because I watched. I know on Crunchyroll they split it weird. They have like the season 1 on Crunchyroll is basically just the subtitled version, and I watched the season 2, which is basically season 1, but they have the option of watching the
Yeah,
dub.
no, Crunchyroll gives every dub or sub a different season name.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's
I
very
watched.
weird.
By the way, I watched the original anime dubbed because you said it was good, and yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I love.
For the time,
So
I
did I,
don't.
yeah,
I
I watched the
don't
dub.
like. I hate to say this, but I really don't like the voice of Luffy in the Japanese one. And so I watched it in English, and I've gotten to like Karlene Klinkenbeard's voice acting for Luffy a lot better.
it is.
So
it is
Japanese
very good.
yeah,
it
it's-
is
it's
really.
very
It's
good.
very good. I
Yeah,
like it a lot.
'cause Luffy-
it's a bit grating, but I like it.
Luffy in both the Japanese and the English version is played by a lady.
Well, yeah, to
Yeah.
get that specific tone.
Yeah.
It's a lady voice actor.
One weird thing with the Netflix dub is the subtitles. They don't match.
Yeah,
That
they
is
use
the
the
Japanese.
Japanese.
So that
I've
is
seen that before.
actually-
They use the
That is
Japanese,
actually
yes.
true with almost anything anime. If you turn on
Just
the
the
subtitles, they're
localization,
doing the
yeah.
translation.
Yeah,
They're
I've
not
seen-
doing the dub.
I've seen
Yeah.
that before. Yeah.
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 It's.
Oh, but that's easy.
Hey guys,
So-
we are recording.
Yeah.
again.
We're recording
We're
it?
good.
We
All
are
of us.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah, it's because they know he's Kuro the Black Cat because
He
he's-
adjusts
He
his
does,
glasses like that.
He has
'cause-
trained himself to adjust his glasses with the flat of
With
his
the
palm
flat,
instead of his
yes.
fingertips because he normally has blades on
Yeah,
his
'cause normally
fingers.
He's got these massive, he's got these massive Freddy Krueger
Poke his eye out.
swords on his hands.
All right.
All right.
I am going to tell you my least favorite part of this adaptation so far.
Yeah.
Hit
It's
me.
not the look of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the general like storytelling is pretty good overall.
The acting?
The acting is pretty good overall. There is one plot point that they changed that irritates me.
What is it?
It's when Shanks rescues young Luffy.
Mm-hmm.
In the live action show, they put them on a boat.
Yeah.
In the anime, Shanks is swimming in the ocean and holding Luffy because Luffy can't swim because he ate the devil fruit.
Oh.
Oh.
So
That's right.
the reason why is because Shanks manages to literally scare a sea dragon away by saying, "Go away."
Mm-hmm.
But we know Shanks doesn't have a devil fruit power that will let him do that. So Shanks is doing this on his own awesomeness. And I feel that somehow the live action took that away because they implied that he might have a devil fruit power.
Oh, yeah.
but
They did like a weird effect on his eyes.
Yeah, but if he was swimming, we would know.
But if he was swimming, we would know he doesn't have a devil fruit power, and Shanks is just that awesome.
Yeah. And the thing where he loses his arm kind of doesn't make any more sense. Because he's in a boat, but the boat isn't destroyed, but his arm is gone.
But his arm is gone. See, and so I liked it better when the dragon already destroyed the boat. Shanks is already there. He's got Luffy to keep him from drowning, and then he loses his arm in the water. And then he yells at the dragon to go away.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I will admit, that part was a little funky.
So I was like, because I watched it, and I was like, somehow this doesn't feel as dramatic as I remember it being. And I was like, I wonder why. And then I went and watched the original. I was like, that would be why. Because being in the water, it feels somehow more immediate, like they're in more danger.
Yeah, because they're floating instead of sitting in a
So
vessel.
anyway, so that is but I will say so far, that is a very small complaint.
It is tiny.
It is tiny.
Otherwise,
but it is a small thing, because Shanks is I love Shanks, and I'm very much looking forward to continuing my One Piece watch, because eventually we do meet up with him again.
I knew he would come back. That's not even much of a
the
spoiler,
actor they got for him is great. The way they adapted his outfit and stuff is great. His crew, the way they adapted his crew looks great.
His mannerisms, his style, everything about him is like so awesome.
As I said, that was my one complaint about the series and why it might be a smidge less than a 5. But it's such a little smidge.
It's a teeny little tiny thing.
It's a teeny little.
They made some additions to it that I really like how in the Buggy the Clown fight, I like how they had like the townspeople chained up inside like a big top.
Yes,
that was really
forced to applaud.
That was cool.
They made Buggy a lot scarier.
He was more sinister in the live action.
Yeah, sinister is a good word.
Like, I bet you could see him walking around at, like, Halloween Horror Nights, and he wouldn't look out of place.
Yeah. Now, the funny thing is, I'm really curious how they treat Buggy later on, because Buggy is a reoccurring character. He's a reoccurring character you wish wouldn't reoccur.
Really? Because they do hint at it in the live action.
At least to me, because I find him slightly annoying. And he gets even more annoying because he becomes like a punching bag, because everybody else gets so much more powerful around him, and he just becomes less and less sinister because he's still the level 1 evil boss.
He's the first evil character you meet.
Yeah. So
he kind of becomes like the Team Rocket of the show.
Not
like
quite
not
that bad, but yeah.
Yeah.
In a certain way. I mean, he's still more than willing to stab Luffy in the back whenever he can.
Oh yeah.
So. But yeah,
that's the difference between him and Team
Rocket.
Rocket.
You're going to meet some way more interesting and way more scarier villains as you go.
Like, you're going to have to do something to change him to make him cooler.
I did like the fact that they have hinted at Baroque works already in the first episode, because that's something that doesn't happen until much later.
They mentioned
it.
And
I don't know what that is. That's the random Baroque works guy that Zoro killed.
That is the start of the Alabasta arc is about Baroque works.
I will say, I think it's really funny how when they first introduce Zoro, he kills the Baroque works guy, cuts off his head, puts it in the bag for bounty, and then later on when he's captured by Buggy, what's his name? The acrobat dude.
Oh, I forget his name too.
I'm just gonna call him the acrobat. He's like saying
the
unicycle guy. He's like, you killed my friend, brother. He killed someone that was close to him, and he's like, and he's like, I have no recollection of this. And he's like, you cut off his head and put it in a bag. He's like, that sounds like me.
That's basically my.
He's like, okay, that sounds like me.
Yeah.
Well, that was the other interesting thing is the unicycle swordsman. There was like a whole fight scene between him and Zoro for almost an entire episode.
Yeah, he got a whole fight.
There was no fight scene between them in this.
Nah, Zoro was just tied to a wheel, and he threw knives at him. And threw knives at him.
Yeah. So I feel like they've downgraded a lot of the fighting in here in the live action, which is probably, again, a money, time,
of course,
and choreography thing, because it's really hard to do these crazy wild fights all over the place.
But I will admit, I do kind of like that decision, because a lot of I just feel like the acrobat fight was just like padding for time, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, and probably in the manga, it probably just took up a few pages.
A couple pages.
And in the anime, it takes half an episode.
Yeah, they extend it out. Which
though they didn't add in Shoo.
I was about to say,
Shoo.
if we're talking complaints, no Shoo in live action.
They didn't put in Shoo.
He does make a brief cameo at the very end of the episode.
And they have the Beast Tamer guy in his stupid little bear outfit.
But you don't have the giant lion.
They don't have the giant lion. I mean, they mentioned it. Buggy's like, "Where's my giant dancing lion?" lion. And he's like, I'm sorry.
Shushu gets like an entire character arc in one episode.
It's just this random dog.
Yeah, and they're like,
they make
going
everyone
this whole
sad. I'm
yeah,
like,
it was
it's
so,
Shushu.
It was so sad.
Yeah.
His story.
No, that's the one thing I will say One Piece is very, very good at, is giving you lots of little minor characters that have all of these backstories, and you're just like, and then you never see them again.
Yeah,
They just,
just one and done.
They randomly show up again.
Like,
you learn this very tragic backstory of this giant whale that they meet when they first go over the Grand Line. Like 250 episodes later, you find out more about this whale.
Oh.
To the point they literally have to do a flashback episode where they flash back to them meeting the whale. Because if you were watching this one episode a week, it's been years since you saw anything about that whale. So I mean, for me, it was like 6 months because I watch it on DVD. By the way, DVDs for One Piece are hysterically fun because Funimation has put this mode on there. They call it Marathon Mode.
Oh no!
And you click that, and they play the opening song once. At the very beginning,
and
play all of the episodes straight through with no ending credits, and then you have the ending credits at the very end.
That's probably how you would want to watch it, especially.
I mean, also if you're watching the dub, not gonna lie, the end credits and opening credits translated to English is.
The end credit song is not good.
Oh, it's bad.
I
so
don't
bad.
I don't think I'd ever listened to any
bad.
of the end credits.
Skip it. Yeah.
The opening one though is fun.
It's fun.
The opening
it's
one's
got
okay.
that Saturday afternoon adventure feel
to
it.
The credits one,
it's awful.
I hit next episode.
I'm like,
as
no,
soon as I can.
And the worst part is that my computer had like some internet issues while I was watching it, so it kept getting like stuck. Like I would like be watching it, and then my bars would be gone, and it would just be playing the episode. And if I refreshed or anything like that or tried to click on it, it'd be stuck on that page playing the episode while it was refreshing. So I'd be stuck listening to the outro
just
song
over and over.
while waiting for it to load so I can go to the next episode. And I'm like, I have to take my headphones off, and I'm like, ugh.
Get me out
All
of
right.
here.
So I'm going to tell you live action some of the characters I'm hoping that show up, because if they managed, I've seen conflicting articles on this, so I don't know if they actually got approved for a season 2 or not. I really hope they did, because they are smashing it out of the park.
Oh
with
yeah,
this.
oh yeah.
Netflix would be stupid not to give them a season 2 at this point.
But Netflix has been historically stupid.
They are.
They have a
Historically.
history.
They didn't
They have a
give
history.
Dorohedoro season 2, and I think it deserved it so much.
Oh, it did. It did.
You can't count on them.
No, I want to see Robin, who is a very interesting character. She's an archaeologist, but she's on like the most wanted list by the Marines.
For what reason?
Various and sundry.
Ah.
I want to see how they do Chopper.
But
Tony Chopper.
is it gonna be a puppet, or are they gonna do CGI?
Yeah, I have.
Is it gonna be
idea.
a tiny actor in a suit?
See, I have no idea who any of these people are. So
Yeah.
I'm
Chopper's a little
looking
deer
forward to-
dude. You see him in like promo stuff all the time.
I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to
he's
seeing
the cute
who we
character.
meet. Yeah, who?
But yeah,
He's the Pikachu.
yeah, in some ways, yes. Until he goes evil. Have you seen
Evil?
Chopper?
He goes evil?
He turns into an evil deer.
Oh,
Oh
no.
yeah, he has these medicines he can make that like literally let him just kind of like rampage.
So he makes steroids.
Yeah, pretty
Roid
much.
rage.
And there's one point where everybody's about to die, and he's like, "I've got to do something." So he takes these and he turns into the deer from hell.
Like what? Okay, what kind of hell deer? Like the ritual kind of hell
Like
deer,
the
or
antlers out to here. His eyes are completely glazed over. He's drooling. He's got fangs. He's like.
Is he
evil.
like a big buff deer, or is he like
Yeah,
a real
yeah.
deer?
Big
a
buff.
big buff evil deer.
Oh
All right.
gosh.
I
Yeah,
gotta
he's still
keep
walking
watching.
on his hind legs.
Oh, it's like
So-
a werewolf deer.
Yeah. That
Ooh.
actually sounds about right.
Werewolf deer.
Anyway, but
Oh gosh.
yeah, that doesn't happen until way later when they start meeting enemies that they can't defeat.
Oh
And
boy.
just to let you know, they get the living daylights beat out of them
No.
multiple
boy.
times.
Not
Uh-oh.
Zoro.
Where
Right,
I
not again.
so where I am in the series right now, they're actually all separated because they got defeated so badly, and then the guy pretty much threw them in opposite directions, way far away from each other. So
Dang.
Interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be fun to see them kind of on their own for a little bit.
yeah, so,
Yeah, like Zuko alone episode, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, so where I am, Luffy is currently doing something I don't want to talk about because it is a huge, and they have, and then they're focusing mainly on him, but they've done like one episode here or there to show you where everybody else is and what they're doing.
All right.
So, but yeah, there is at one point in the manga and in the anime, they have what they call the time skip, where there's literally a 2-year jump in the storyline.
Really, and they just pick it up.
And
2
they
years
pick it up
later.
2 years
I
later.
just realized something. Did we not list off the cast of characters?
I don't know if we
not
did.
individually, but we mentioned.
We mentioned a lot of names, and
We
we
mentioned
didn't
a lot of
tell,
names.
the viewer,
All right.
the viewers
So
who they
real
are.
quick, Luffy is the self-proclaimed captain. He ate the gum gum fruit, and he has rubber powers.
He is
As
made
he
of
goes-
rubber.
As he goes, I'm a rubber man. He can go ahead and stretch all over the place. Cannonballs bounce off of him, etc.
He can turn into a balloon.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have Nami, who is currently a thief.
Mhm.
She is eventually going to be a navigator for him.
Yeah.
And he
His-
kind of
we
is
have-
insisting she is already,
she is
even though
assisting-
she's
yeah.
not doing much.
She
navigating.
is resisting all his
Yeah,
attempts.
she does not
Zoro
want to navigate.
Roanora Zoro.
is a pirate hunter who is currently going with Luffy. In the anime, he is already part of the crew. In the live action, he's still denying it, but they're acting like crew.
Yeah.
Like he's just kind of hanging out because I think he doesn't know
Yes.
what else to do
yeah,
at this point.
yeah, he's kind of.
He's
Later-
lost his
He's adrift.
he's
yeah.
lost his ability to collect bounties.
And later on in the live action, we will meet Sanji, who fights with his legs, and he will become their chef.
Okay.
And those are kind of like their 4 main characters for quite some time. He doesn't add any more crew members for quite a bit after that.
So that's our main. It's our
That's
main
the main
four, and
group.
So
they're
that's kind of like your main 4.
their
for a while.
dynamic is fun.
It is fun.
Yes, I'm
'Cause-
very much looking forward to Sanji joining them because
'Cause-
he adds a lot to it.
We should talk about how Luffy transitions from anime to live action a little bit because I just think he has a pretty
All right.
drastic change, but not
So-
too drastic.
You have got 2 minutes to tell me that, and then I'm going to have to call it quits on this
Okay.
because with all of our
Oh,
technical
we're getting
things,
too
we're
long?
running out of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So 2 minutes on Luffy.
Oh gosh.
2 minutes on Luffy.
And we can all talk. It doesn't just have to be a monologue.
Okay, so in the original show, Luffy he's energetic, he's hyper, he's kind of oblivious to a lot of things. He's very
got a really cackly laugh to him.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
very idealistic. He's called Monkey D. Luffy for a reason. He's kind of like a monkey, really. He's just kind of going from
so
tree to
funny
tree.
thing is that Monkey is actually his last name.
Oh really?
But
I thought
he
Luffy-
introduced
Because-
himself. Oh yeah, just his last name
Japanese.
first. Japanese.
Oh,
Japanese.
okay. So Luffy D Monkey is his.
It would be.
It
how
doesn't.
You do
It doesn't
But
have.
everybody just.
It
calls-
doesn't have the same ring to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the same ring to it.
Yeah, Monkey
But-
is his last name.
In the live action,
The only
he's-
reason why that's important is because eventually you do meet his dad.
okay.
Okay.
In the live action, he is a little bit less hyper. He's still
Yes.
hyper, but he's not
He's
like
not a shrill.
He's
yeah.
less bounce off the walls hyper.
Yeah.
He still smiles a lot. He's still like,
He's
oh
still
yeah, you should
energetic.
do this.
he's
Yeah.
still
and-
goofy. He's still oblivious, but he's not ignorant like
Oh,
he
and,
is in the
and he's
original.
still always looking for food
Oh yeah.
because Luffy is always looking
Yes.
for
Like
food.
the difference
Wherever
is
he goes,
in
yeah.
the anime he was introduced exploding out of a barrel, screaming, "I slept so good," punching 3 pirates in the face and scaring the living daylights out of Kobe, who's a little kid that he meets. And then he jumps out. He's like, "All right, where's food?" In the live action, he's on a sinking boat talking to a bird about how he should join his pirate crew. The bird's wearing a little hat and bag for some reason.
Their birds are messengers.
Okay, messenger
they do
bird.
show up later.
And then he's in a sinking ship. He's like, all right, it's not going to work. And then he jumps in a fish barrel and just kind of floats off and falls asleep. And then when he wakes up, he just kind of kicks it open like normal, gets up,
Then
turns
he's
to the
just
nearest
like, "All right,
person and goes,
ready."
hey, do you know where I can find any food? See,
Yeah,
it's
it's
less insane.
It's a
Yeah,
little bit
he's-
less insane. It's a little bit more low key, as you said, but it still has that same I'm not quite on the same wavelength as everybody
Yeah.
around.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
got this
like-
goofy energy.
He's
Yeah.
very like he'll be pretending to be Nami's prisoner. He'll be like, yeah, she's the best. It's like, no, wait, she's the worst. Like
Yeah.
he's very childish.
He's got a heart
Yeah.
of gold. Deep
He
down.
does.
You
very
can tell,
childish.
yeah.
Luffy, I love Luffy because he is a pirate. He does not mind fighting Marines. He doesn't mind stealing things because he's like, yeah, we can steal a boat.
Yeah.
Or,
Right.
or we can borrow
That's
a
why
boat.
we're
It's like,
here.
we
Or
could
we
we
do
could
this.
steal a boat, but I'll try and ask first.
First.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
But,
last resort. Maybe.
What I love about Luffy is that he will go all out because he wants to protect his friends, and he won't let people be bullied. He doesn't like
Yes.
bullies. And I think that's what happens a lot of times is he believes that the Marines are being bullies.
Mhm.
And so he's going to bully them back. worse.
Well, we see-
AKA, he's going to make fun of them to their faces.
Well, we see with Shoo Shoo, that's the thing that really sets off
Yeah.
Luffy is having the pet shop burned down. That's when
because
he's like, all right,
because that was
like,
Shoo Shoo's treasure, and
Yeah.
he's feeling all of that pain for Shoo
Yes,
Shoo, and he's
yeah.
like, okay, I'm going to
go
do
all out.
go
yeah.
all out now because you destroyed Shoo Shoo's treasure. So, anyway,
I think
okay.
in the live action, they kind of replaced it with this random little kid in Buggy's circus. That's when he
Yeah.
gets a
That's
little
when
angry.
he
That's when he
gets-
gets
yeah.
angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, sets him off. Yeah.
all right,
And
so
when he insults Shanks.
yes, Andy
Yes,
insulted
that is
Shanks.
the ultimate, crime.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We have now reached the end of our time. I really wanted to talk longer about this, and we probably would have had a much longer episode, except for we had multiple computer crashes and interesting sound things. So unfortunately, this is where we're gonna have to stop talking about One Piece. One Piece is an amazing story with a ton of characters, lots of story arcs. If you're in the mood for a really long pirate show that has some zany humor, crazy character design, and sometimes way too long of fights, this is probably
If you're
for
willing
you.
to sit through 1,000 plus episodes.
Yes.
If you're not
I will
the
say
live action.
This is usually One Piece, the anime is usually my go-to when I'm like working on a craft project, I have a puzzle or something,
Background,
or I'm not
kinda.
feeling well and I just need to like zonk out on the couch for a bit. Put in a disc of One Piece and watch 2.5 hours.
Because
of
the
it.
thing is,
Yeah.
it's a really good story, but it's not complicated.
Yeah.
No.
So
It's
you could
just kind of a
you could
pirate
watch it
adventure.
in the background and you
Yeah.
wouldn't miss too much.
I
You
will
don't have
say,
to pay too much attention.
I have come to a bit of a halt on my watching because I know something is coming up because it got spoiled for me a long time ago before I even started watching One Piece, and I am not looking forward to
In
it.
an emotional way.
Oh
You're
yeah.
not emotionally ready.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh no!
Because you're nearing the halfway point, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
There's a
500-ish.
character.
Is there
that
gonna be
I-
is there gonna be a tonal shift?
I don't know if there's gonna be a tonal shift, like a trigon tonal
oh
shift.
God!
Oh,
If it- I
Trigon's
hope
the ultimate tone.
I hope it's not a trigon tonal
That's the
shift.
ultimate.
I really hope it's not a trigon
No,
tonal shift.
I don't think it's gonna be a trigon tonal shift to a certain extent, but they have not done a whole lot of. Yeah, I'm not gonna give it away. But anyway, let's just say something happens that is not good, that there is no going back from.
Oh boy.
Oh Jeebus!
All right. Well, anyway, any last words?
I like them both. I love the anime. Live
Honestly,
action was fun.
I wanna watch the live action with my family.
I'm gonna finish
Yes.
the live action.
I would highly recommend if you don't feel like diving into 1,000 and some episodes of an anime, the live action is really great to
It's
watch.
fun and they condense it in a way that doesn't feel like they're rushing it.
Yes.
And I will say, my brother, he watched the live action with his son, who's 8, and he loved it. So it is
Okay.
pretty kid friendly. I mean, there is some
Well,
swearing.
there's
There's
swearing,
and some
death,
violence, but
there's
it's
I
some
would
not.
say
violence.
it's about PG-13. So
Yeah,
depending
PG-13.
on depending on your
depending
8-year-old.
on your kid, but
yeah,
it's
there's
nothing too
there's violence
Yeah.
and there's
intense.
swearing,
It's
so it
nothing too
depends on the kid.
intense.
But
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
wouldn't show it
And-
to your 5-year-old.
Yeah.
With that, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. And thank you all for joining me.
Of course.
And
yeah.
thank you, audience out there, for listening. And if you have any thoughts or comments about what we talked about today, you can email me in the email address that's in our show notes. And also, we are going to be getting together next month for another Miyazaki recording. So very excited about this.
Ooh.
This is actually one of the few Miyazaki films I haven't seen.
I think I've seen this one, but I don't remember having any strong feelings on it.
Okay. Well, we will find out what if Zoe recovers any strong feelings about this or not.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, I don't remember having much of a reaction to this movie.
All right. And with that, I will see you guys next month.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.